Hello, guys. Once again, this time I don't look like Baron Corbin. Well, still a white shirt, but a clean shaved face, if you can see what I mean. But what's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man, 1993, and it's a late night live, preview and predictions for AEW All Out 2021. Takes place exactly 1 year from the previous All Out, September 5th, 2021. This coming Sunday at the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Of course, 2 years ago for All Out, it was teased that a certain somebody would be there. He did actually appear for an interview segment, not on the show, but just a random interview segment, not on the air, of course. But this year, he is the center focal point of the show, and that, of course, is CM Punk, making his in-ring return to professional wrestling for the first time in 7 years. We're going to go down the card fairly quickly here because it is late at night, and talk about the matches, give my thoughts, my predictions. We all know last year's All Out, unfortunately to me, was definitely maybe the weakest pay-per-view AEW has produced so far. Mostly because of the Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara incident with the Broken Rules match, and just how they just weren't able to recover the crowd after that. This show, I think, could be good. I believe it could be good. There is a lot of opportunities for surprises. I could see 3 possible surprises showing up at this show. We probably are at least getting one I am pretty confident about. The rest of them, highly possible. CM Punk even mentioned recently how one of them, basically implied is on their way, based off of, a promo they had last week on Dynamite. The only problem I'm worried about this show is that, at this time, I've counted, there is 11 matches for the show, including the buy-in. Now, I have heard rumors that one is canceled, which I will talk about that when I get to it. There is a lot of matches. I mean, most AEW pay-per-views have gone probably about 3 hours and 45 minutes, around that. 4 hours. That definitely is kind of pushing it maybe a little bit. So, managing the time, giving the matches that need the time they deserve, giving the ones that don't really need as much time, just give them just a few minutes and just move on from them. So, done right, I think this could be a good show. But I feel like, the wrestling matches are going to be good. I feel like this show is going to be much more, though, about the moments, such as Punk making his in-ring return, or some possible surprises that we could be getting. I don't see any titles changing hands on this show. We do have, I think, the 4 title matches, the 4 titles, the AEW World Title, the AEW Women's World Title, AEW Tag Titles, being contestants out of a steel cage, and the TNT Championship. We also have a women's casino battle royale, which will be most likely featuring the debut of a former WWE superstar, as the one I'm probably pretty confident the most is going to show up for All Out, with the surprise in the Joker spot in that casino battle royale. But let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Again, I don't have too much time. It's late at night. I'm trying to get to bed earlier, so we'll see. There's a buy-in match on the card, which is a 10-man tag team match between Orange Cassidy, Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, and what's the guy's name again? I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me look it up. It's not Trent. I'm not sure what happened to Trent. Let me see here. The guy's name is, I keep forgetting, Wheeler Yuta. And then, of course, Jurassic Express's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are going to be a team taking on the Hardy Family Office's crew of Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn of Private Party, and Angelico and Jack Evans of TH2. I still don't know who all is involved with the Hardy Family Office. As I think isn't like the Butcher and the Blade involved, or the Blade at least. I don't know whatever happened to the Butcher. Of course, we have the Bunny involved. Now I guess Penelope Ford's involved with them as well, since she's now tag teaming with the Bunny. It seems like, I don't know. And also, my thing is why is I get it, like, from the rumors have it, I get it, they're trying to save the Jurassic Express from winning the tag titles, which they should be the ones that dethrone the Young Bucks, because they are probably one of the most over babyface tag teams right now. But I think though is why do you have to throw them on the pre-show though? I feel like they could have done some with them on the main show, or probably at least not really had them on the show at all, to be honest. But it is what it is. It's going to be a whatever match. Just a nice easy match, just to get into the swing of things. If you're watching the buy-in, the baby faces will win, no doubt about it. They will win over the Hardy Family Office, and like I said, probably either the next one, or I still don't know now when they're going to do Hangman and Kenny, since I originally thought they were probably going to put all the belts on Kenny Omega, but since they didn't, and they took the Impact World title off of Kenny and put it on Christian Cage. I'm guessing maybe Full Gear could be where Kenny and the Young Bucks drop the belts, and when they do drop the Young belts, they're going to drop it to Jurassic Express. Again, Jungle Boy, is super over. Need to give him some love. Give him Jurassic Express the tag titles. Give them a good run with it. They'll be good. But that's my pick for the buy-in. The predicted opening match I have is actually the match I've heard rumors that has been canceled, which is Pac and Andrade El Idolo. Not sure if it for real is canceled or not, or if it could be just storyline-wise. I'm not sure. If the match happens, though, I think it'll be good. I still would have liked to have seen Andrade and Rey Fenix, because I feel like that would have been a classic. I still feel like Pac and Andrade, though, could put on a pretty good match. As far as who wins, though, it'll probably be Andrade, if the match happens. Again, I've heard rumors that it's been canceled and postponed, I think, to next Friday's episode of Rampage. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see, though. But I got Andrade, though, winning this match if it still happens. Next match is going to be a match that really should just be a squash. Paul White versus QT Marshall. It is Paul White's AEW in-ring debut. This is probably the match, like I said before, how, with there being 11 matches, including the buy-in on this card, well, 9 main show matches if they did in fact cancel Pac and Andrade. Again, this is one of those matches that literally just needs to be an in and out thing. Okay, I'm intrigued to see how Paul White's going to do in the ring for the first time in, how long since he's been in the ring. Probably since he feuded with Randy Orton last summer in WWE. But, I mean, I'd rather see him face somebody else. Okay, QT Marshall and his factory stable, to me, it's just whatever. It's just a jobber squad. I don't know what else is going to happen, though, since the Gun Club apparently turned their back on Paul White and attacked his surgically repaired hip this past week on Dynamite. But either way, he's winning this. It'd be dumb for him to lose to QT Marshall and move on to some other things, which, based off of his podcast with Jericho, I am kind of hoping he does eventually get a chance to work with, like, Darby Allin or Rey Fenix. Especially Darby. He mentioned on the podcast how big of a fan he is of Darby Allin, and he'd love to tear the house down with him. So I hope he eventually does get that shot with Darby Allin. Of course, though, Darby Allin is going to be too busy working with the best in the world on this show, so it won't be happening. So Paul White wins this. This should be a squash match. This next match, it's the Women's Casino Battle Royale, with the winner getting an eventual shot for the AEW Women's World Championship. If I can pull up the list here really quick here just to read off who all is in that match. Let me see here. We have Abaddon, who we haven't seen, I think, since she had the match with Hikaru Shida for the women's titles several months ago. Anna Jay, who made her return on Dynamite last night. Big Swole, the Bunny, Diamante, Emi Sakura, Hikaru Shida, the former AEW Women's World Champion, Jade Cargill, Jamie Hayter, Julia Hart, Kiera Hogan, Kylan King, Layla Hirsch, Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford, Rebel, Red Velvet, Ty Conchi, Thunder Rosa, and 2 more to be announced. I don't know who, one of them. I mean, I definitely have a prediction for one of them. Of course, it's obvious they're in the graphic here. I don't see it really being like any member of like the Iconics. Well, no, I guess the Iconics Chronicles the inspiration. I don't think it's gonna be them. I'm trying to remember who else besides Lana was released recently. It could be someone from NWA maybe. It would be nice. I still, because since they have a partnership with Impact, I still would love to see Deonna Purrazzo though show up in AEW as the Knockouts and the AAA champion. That would be an awesome moment for me, of course, but I don't think that's happening. I don't know, maybe like Mickey James will appear, or maybe like Rio or Yuka Sakazaki. A few others I can't really think of off the top of my head, but the Joker though I'm predicting will be Ruby Soho, well, formerly of course Ruby Riott. Her 90 days are past. She's been rumored to be going to AEW for a while. She's been cutting some pretty good segments that she's posting on social media. I think she will debut in this match as the Joker, and she's actually my pick to win, Ruby Soho. I just don't know who else could win this. I mean, I don't know if they'll bring in Mickey James, make a surprise appearance or something, but I'm pretty confident Ruby Soho is going to be showing up here, and she will probably win this women's Casino Battle Royale, as she should. So she'll eventually get a shot at Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, for the AEW Women's World Championship, as she should. So that's that match. Following this, we got another match that I'm not super duper interested. It's Jon Moxley taking on Satoshi Kojima. I don't know much about Satoshi Kojima. I'm guessing since Jon Moxley now isn't AEW World Champion anymore, and he's no longer IWGP United States Champion. He seems to be playing more so the role of advertising for New Japan, with bringing over some guys in Japan had matches with. And I don't know much about Satoshi Kojima, if I pronounced his name right. I know a lot of people have seen him fight someone like a Will Ospreay or Jay White, or Okada or Ibushi maybe, or even Kenta. Moxley and Kenta, did they have a match at all last summer? I feel like they may have. I'm not too sure though. Well, not last summer, like earlier this year, whenever Moxley was feuding with Omega. But this I feel like is another match that's like, don't give it too much time. I don't really see this one being like a show stealer. Moxley's gonna win, and that's fine by me. Kind of a little bit like a cool down match, I feel like. Match 6. We have Miro taking on Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship. This should be an interesting match. Quite frankly, honestly, part of me kind of wants Eddie Kingston to win. I feel like, he's one of those guys who literally earned himself to the top, did all himself, and caught a lot of people's eyes that, weren't catching his eye before. And I think, he should have. I thought him and Moxley should have won the tag titles at Double or Nothing, which was a match of the year candidate. Them and the Young Bucks. So at some point, I feel like you got to throw Eddie Kingston a bone. Problem is, though, I don't think Miro's dropping the championship yet. I think Miro is going to retain thanks to help from his debuting wife, CJ Perry. I think she's going to debut here, kind of like, cause some type of a distraction for Eddie Kingston, and Miro will get the victory. This could set them up, of course, eventually, though, for a rematch where Eddie Kingston does beat Miro for the World Championship, because I'm definitely, all in, no pun intended, on Eddie Kingston being the one of these show Miro, as I feel like he deserves, something for, all the work he's put on, but, it just feels like not yet. And like I said, I think CJ Perry will be another person appearing, and costing Eddie Kingston the match, and will be making her AEW debut, because she did mention a couple days ago that her 90-day no-compete clause is up, so she can go anywhere she wants now. So hopefully she comes to AEW, and hopefully she gets respected. Her and Miro get to work together and just enjoy each other's company again. Next match number 7, should be a good one. Steel cage match for the AEW World Tag Titles, with the Young Bucks taking on Lucha Bros. Look, I know these two teams can put on a great match. They've had, several matches in the past. And again, I get they're probably waiting a little bit longer because they want to have Kenny and the Young Bucks drop the tag titles at the same time. And the Young Bucks probably going to drop them to Jurassic Express. I don't know, this still feels like a little bit thrown together. Some things for All Out, the build's been good, but I feel like some of it, it feels like it's a little much more focused, of course, on CM Punk. But I feel like they still kind of coasted quite a bit, though, with some of these feuds. They were good, but they definitely could have been a little bit better if, they gave them a little more time to build. So this feels like a little bit random. Like I said, they've always had good matches. I know this one will be good as well. Young Bucks are going to retain here. It'll be a good match, but even if it was going to be a steel cage match, I recommended that they probably should have saved it for, them and Jurassic Express, a team that we're pretty positive will win the tag titles. I don't see them dropping them to the Lucha Bros here. Like I said, I think him and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are going to drop the titles at the same time, I think. That's that match. Chris Jericho and MJF. If Chris Jericho loses, his in-ring career is over, and he'll have to be a full-time announcer at AEW Rampage. Tough one here, because my thing was what was the point of doing Jericho and MJF on live TV when you were still going to do this match live anyways? Again, no, I am glad that MJF won the previous match. He's beaten Jericho 3 times, he claims, but I hate to see him lose. I hate to see him lose and not get some, more nuclear heat on him, but I just don't think Jericho's in-ring career is over yet. I feel like there's still guys in AEW he wants to work with, a Malachi Black. Who else? An Andrade, El Idolo. A Pac, if he hasn't worked with Pac yet. Who would I just think of? Him and Punk. I'd love to see him and Punk go at it again. Jericho's going to tell Punk that, hit me in the head, Punk! Hit me in the head, Punk! Your father's a drunk, Punk! Your father's a drunk! So I don't think it's over. I feel I'd love to see, MJF get a victory to, continue to put the heat on him, but I think it's going to be Jericho winning. I think Jericho's winning this. Hopefully it'll be a good match. Like I said, these guys have had a couple matches already, and weren't particularly my favorites. So hopefully this one will be a little more of a grudge match, and they'll be able to put on a pretty good show, as I'm hoping for. Next match is the AEW Women's World Title match between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Chris Statlander. I love both these women, but there really isn't too much of a story to it. It's basically like a throwaway match because, there really isn't too many big established stars in that women's division still. And I do like Chris Statlander, but since she's come back from her injury, she's kind of been just hanging around with best friends and, I don't know, just randomly getting a title shot. Well, I think she was, toward the top of the ranking system, I think. But I think this will be a good match. Chris Statlander, I'm sorry. Dr. Britt Baker is retaining. I think they're going to keep it on her for a little while longer. They want to give her a good reign out of it, which they should. I think the person that they're going to have her drop the title to, who is now signed full time to AEW, is Thunder Rosa eventually. So totally cool with them, doing this. Next match is the AEW World Title match with Kenny Omega and Christian Cage. I was a little skeptical, of course, of the match, doing this match again, since they already did this match for the Impact World Championship on Rampage, but they did the shocker, and now Christian Cage is trying to take everything away from Kenny Omega. He's not going to, though. I mean, yeah, he's probably going to still be Impact World Champion. Don't know how long he'll be champion for, because I don't watch Impact, but I think Kenny's going to retain, and it'll be a good match. I wasn't like super high, and then like have the highest expectations for Omega, Pac, and Orange Cassidy from Double or Nothing, but they pulled out some pretty good stuff. I think they could do it again here with this match, with Christian Cage getting a shot for the world title, who's done an excellent job since debuting at Revolution. Now, though, here's the third prediction I gotta say. After the match, after Omega wins, out will come Bryan Danielson. He's been rumored for a while. Punk has, even teased him being on his way. Him basically saying, that's someone else's shtick, but you're going to have to wait a little longer for that. And I've heard rumors. First I heard rumors that they were going to debut Bryan at the Arthur Ashe Stadium event. But because of, speculations that things could change based off of, the current conditions right now, I think they wanted to debut him in front of a hot crowd like Chicago. So I think this is where Bryan Danielson debuted. So he'll confront Kenny Omega. If they still want to wait till Revolution to do Omega and Page, they could always do Kenny Omega and Daniel Bryan at All Out. Maybe Bryan Danielson. I'm sorry, not All Out. At I'm getting tired. Shoot, Full Gear, as I think they could do it. But I think he will debut after this match. And then the match I think should main event: CM Punk and Darby Allin. Again, this show is basically written for Punk to get the loudest pop, the loudest reaction, the biggest moment of the night. You'll have those predicted surprise debuts such as Ruby Soho, Daniel Bryan, and CJ Perry. But this is going to be a match that's going to be must-see for people. It's going to be that match, again, 7 years in the making. Punk and Darby have mutual respect for each other. But the question is, does Punk still have it? Again, it's been 7 years since he's wrestled a match. He's 42 years old. He's almost 43. Does he still have it? And the story, again, is simple. Darby Allin wants to, take on the best. He's getting the best. CM Punk wants to prove himself against the best. He's going to do that. They all win, fair and square in there. But I think CM Punk is going to win. I think he should win. I mean, it'd be dumb for him to... Darby can take the loss. I think it'll be dumb to see Darby, get the win here, unless they start the story where Punk is doubting himself and whatnot. But I don't know if I want to see that again. Well, then again, AEW does a better job anyways, but I don't want to see what they did basically with Baron Corbin and made him Happy Corbin, or whatever, which is weird as hell. But yeah, Punk wins. That's my thoughts, guys. Again, I'm tired. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I gotta still pack my bag for my girlfriends this weekend. But to go over my predictions again, Best Friends and Jurassic Express will win the buy-in. Andrade El Idolo will defeat Pac if that match still happens. Paul White will squash QT Marshall. Ruby Soho will debut in the women's Battle Royale and win in the Joker spot. Jon Moxley will defeat Satoshi Kojima. Miro will retain the TNT title against Eddie Kingston. The feud will continue because it's the loss by Kingston was due to interference by CJ Perry. Young Bucks will defeat the Lucha Bros inside the steel cage. Chris Jericho will beat MJF. Britt Baker will retain over Chris Statlander. Kenny Omega will retain the title over Christian Cage with Bryan Danielson debuting. And CM Punk will defeat Darby Allin and have a pretty good match in his first match back in 7 stinking years. And, yep, that's going to do it, guys. Nobody to live head's fine, but I'm going to get ready to go to bed. I will probably be live again maybe Sunday, if not Monday, to do the review of the show. And As always, just stay tuned for whatever content comes next. Again, make sure to slap a like on the video, guys. Subscribe, more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. Make sure to leave, again, your thoughts in the comments section. Make sure to check out also my Seinfeld reviews as well. And with that being said, guys, I'm checking out. Have a good night. I'll see you all later. Peace out, everybody.